How does the property decorator work in Python? I would like to understand how the built-in function property works. What confuses me is that property can also be used as a decorator, but it only takes arguments when used as a built-in function and not when used as a decorator. This example is from the documentation. Properties arguments are gitch, sich, dealx and a docstring. In the code below, property is used as a decorator. The object of it is the x function, but in the code above there is no place for an object function in the arguments. How are the x.setter and x.deleter decorators created in this case?
The property function returns a special descriptor object. It is this object that has extra methods. These act as decorators too. They return a new property object. That is a copy of the old object, but with one of the functions replaced. Remember that the decorator syntax is just syntactic sugar. The syntax really means the same thing as. So foo the function is replaced by property foo, which we saw above as a special object. Then when you use at foo.setter, what you are doing is call that property.setter method I showed you above, which returns a new copy of the property, but this time with the setter function replaced with the decorated method. The following sequence also creates a full-on property, by using those decorator methods. First we create some functions in a property object with just a getter. Next we use the .setter method to add a setter. Last we add a deleter with the .deleter method. Last but not least, the property object acts as a descriptor object, so it has ._get_, ._set_, and ._delete_ methods to hook into instance attribute getting, setting and deleting. The descriptor how-to includes a pure Python sample implementation of the property type.
The documentation says it's just a shortcut for creating read-only properties. So, is equivalent to
Here is a minimal example of how a property can be implemented. Otherwise word remains a method instead of a property.
Below is another example on how a property can help when one has to refactor code which is taken from here. I only summarize it below. Imagine you created a class money like this. And a user creates a library depending on this class where he or she uses, for example, Now let's suppose you decide to change your money class and get rid of the dollars and cents attributes but instead decide to only track the total amount of cents. If the above mentioned user now tries to run his/her library as before, it will result in an error. Attribute error. Money object has no attribute dollars. That means that now everyone who relies on your original money class would have to change all lines of code where dollars and cents are used, which can be very painful. So, how could this be avoided? By using at property. That is how. When we now call from our library, it will work as expected and we did not have to change a single line of code in our library. In fact, we would not even have to know that the library we depend on changed. Also, the setter works fine. You can use a property also in abstract classes. I give a minimal example here.